I never thought we talked so much shit that YouTube would be like, yeah, y'all gotta chill.
You could have stopped
Usually
that for
those
the
things
first
are
few words
reported,
of that
though.
sentence.
YouTube, no, normally those things are reported though.
You think someone snitched?
Mm-hmm.
Was it Sherry Tenpenny's uncle or something? Got all mad?
It was RSR podcast part 2. Like going through.
They're like, I am magnetic.
Sherry Tenpenny.
It's a great name.
Oh man, that is a great name. Yo, what's going on, man?
Chilling.
Man,
Staying out in these streets.
are you?
By that,
Is that what you're doing?
By that I mean on the couch, comfortably.
So staying out of these streets.
Yes.
Is I as well, man. I actually I'm on a quest, man. I gotta start running again. So I'm taking brisk walks
Oh, okay.
to get back ready, and I'm like, I can't do this no more. All I do is eat and sit.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah,
So,
man. Got to get out there.
yeah. I'm trying not to be Big Trek. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, yo, Big Trek, come here. Like, nah, I'm cool. Yo, Kev, as you know, I think a lot of people who know me know, like I like I guess adult cartoons is probably the worst way to say that, but like cartoons like Archer.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was gonna say adult cartoons, but then it would have been like if somebody's feed broke off right there.
Right.
Then it would be like, yo, that's not how I want to end that sentence. But cartoons like Archer or I don't know if Clone Wars would be adult. Have you ever watched Rick and Morty?
No. I've been meaning to though, but I never have.
So I've been meaning to for quite a while, and I started today. So are you familiar with it at all? Anyway?
No concept, nothing.
So here's what's happening. That was the opening question, by the way. But since you haven't,
I blew it.
yeah, you ruined it.
I'm a disappointment to everybody.
What happens is, I'll fall asleep watching Archer on Hulu.
Okay.
And once the season ends, it'll switch to the next program, right? And normally it's Rick and Morty. So I keep waking up at like 2 a.m. and Rick and Morty is on.
It's like big sleep.
Yeah.
Big nap.
So
big
now
nap.
I'm like, yo, I might as well just watch this thing because
okay.
I keep waking up getting. Dude, that show is banana. That show is already ridiculous. Like Rick and Morty is like. I didn't like South Park. Did you like South Park, or did you watch South Park?
I like South Park, yeah, but I haven't watched nearly all of it. I was on South Park very early though. Very early. Like I have a VHS of, oh God, what was it called? I know if I get this right, somebody listening will give me a lot of points. Probably will double my point count with this person. If I get it wrong, that person will stop listening. So here we go. I think the original short film was called The Spirit of Christmas. And it was before there was ever a South Park show. It was like, I think it was one of the original, if not the original thing that they did. It was all about, had Jesus, and it was about Christmas.
Yep.
And But that did the rounds at the office there. So back in the VHS days, yeah.
I see. Yeah, I mean, my introduction was Family Guy.
Oh wait, like, to South Park?
No.
That was your first,
to South Park technically, but to those type of cartoons,
right?
Went out to my brother's. I went to visit my brother. This was after. I can tell you exactly what happened. It was after the next episode recording.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember, but I went to visit. Were you? Were we around? You weren't around at the time.
I think I met you like right after you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was making my rounds with the hard work record when we met, right? Or I was making my rounds after the next episode.
Yeah. It was like, so you had just done this TV show. Your face was on a billboard on Sunset, I believe, or Hollywood Boulevard.
Yep.
I was like, oh, let me just latch on to this dude because I know his star is rising. It's been downhill ever
poor
since.
Decision making for you. Gosh, man. You were really bad at this. That's all I got to say is you blew it. Oh, did you blow it? But I went to visit my brother because that was just a whole hectic thing recording. I just needed like a break, right? Mm-hmm. So I went to Texas to visit my brother, and he was watching Family Guy like religiously. So my nephew as well. So they got me into Family Guy, and then Odyssey actually got me into Archer.
Justin?
Yeah.
Wasn't he like 3 years old at that time?
He was like...
He was probably too young to be watching.
He was definitely too young to be watching.
We can honestly look back and say that there were some
far.
poor choices being made.
Hey, man, the stuff that kid got to watch. Grown man in his 30s now, man. But back then, he should not have been watching, but he was there cracking up with us. But then Odyssey put me on the Archer, and that's been my favorite show ever since. But I like those type of shows. I think they get it. I mean, I don't want to overstate anything, but I feel like they get to go deeper into like throwing shade at different parts of things in society that don't make sense because they're cartoons and nobody's taking them seriously.
Yep.
But if you listen, it's like, it's pretty cool. So anyway, man, check out Rick and Morty.
Far enough to get in a little bit of trouble, but I don't think it's ever stuck.
Oh yeah,
because they're from they're from Utah. They get a pass.
Well, South Park, just the religious aspect of everything is really what.
Or is it Colorado?
They constantly
whatever. Yeah, no, they go hard. They go hard in the paint when it comes to the church. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they pull no punches. But South Park, and I know, man, I'm sorry to all my people. I love y'all, but I never really got into Boondocks either. It was good. It's funny, but I couldn't.
Yeah, no, I never watched that either. I thought you needed a special channel to watch that.
Yeah. This isn't the part where you start telling me about anime, is it? Like, I don't know, is this where we divide up and you know what I'm saying? You do like Rhett did to me when I was talking to him. He's like, yeah, I watch anime. I was like, oh yeah, word, yeah, like this show. He's like, no, I watch like real anime. I'm like, all right, man,
oh, word?
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, you know what? I don't have. I think the people who I now know who are the most entrenched in that will seem the most knowledgeable about that world are probably Omega and Fizz. and
anime?
If I was going to say I know them, yeah, I mean, in as much as they talk a lot of trash about me all the time.
No, but
I'll
throw that out there.
I don't think I know any hardcore anime fans. Yeah, I guess I didn't know that though.
Yeah, I didn't either. But yeah, apparently he had like the old VHS tapes of things straight from Japan.
Yeah, he should get rid of those.
I mean, Dragon Ball Z is as far as I went. But my daughter's into them a little bit. So
yeah, like I watched Spirited Away with my daughter for the first time, for all of us for the first time. And I'd never seen it. It was super dope. So, but yeah, I've never all that stuff. She's into Pokemon too. So I guess that's anime adjacent. I suppose probably up for debate. I would think there's probably somebody who's not happy with me saying that. As with most
it's probably
things,
like
we'll get taken down from YouTube instantly.
Gateway anime. Oh yeah, it'll be like anime misinformation. That's what we'll get taken down for.
Anime ASR podcast.com or whatever.
Yo, man. All right, so check it out. Let's get to the other side. That's enough. Rick and Morty, y'all. If y'all have seen it, throw some comments in. I'm curious of what y'all think about it. episode 1 is like, what?
You're really riding the cutting edge on that one.
I mean, I'm super dead. At C-Lab 20, C-Lab 2020 or whatever, 2021 or whatever. That joint is funny as hell too.
Is that the same people who did Archer? Is it
Yeah, that's where it started.
Animators? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So anyway, we're gonna get to the other side. Kev, are you ready, man?
I guess. Not if we're going to be talking about more anime. I'm not.
We won't. I promise.
Okay.
All right. Let's go.
Rap Sucks Radio. Blah, 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 blah.
What up, y'all? You are live on Rap Sucks Radio with your homeboy Trek Life and your fam, Kev Dakota.
Big Nap.
Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. If you would like to catch past episodes of Rap Sucks Radio, you can go to rapsucksradio.com or any of your favorite podcasting platforms.
Where else?
Please make sure that you... Where else? Where else? I was about to get there. Please make sure if you want to catch us on television, you can go to BTSN, that's Behind the Scenes Network. Download the app or channel or your Roku or any of your Amazon Fire devices. That was just like a sidearm fastball. I was like, whoa, we teaming up on this. Download the Apple channel on any of your Roku or your Amazon Fire devices. Click on that Apple channel and we are right there. BTSN Behind the Scenes Network. We want in. And yo, follow us on IG, Rap Sucks Radio, and follow us on Facebook. Facebook.com/RSR podcast.
There it is.
That is
there
RSR podcast on Facebook. The first RSR podcast.
Mad for no reason.
No reason at all.
Throwing
beef.
Throwing shade in the middle of the night.
Just because, right? Just because it's still hot outside. It had the nerve to like dip to like 72 degrees or like for like a week, and then it was like, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
98. Shut up.
Mother Nature is rude.
Disrespectful. It's mean-spirited. All right, so I did the rundown.
Yeah, you
title
did,
of the
buddy.
episode is... Yeah, I did. I almost text you, are you rundown complete? And I'm already tired of doing it. That was my initial text, but I erased the second half of it.
I was almost going to rub it into. I was like, he's already tired. I could tell you're already tired of doing this. But I almost texted you back, literally like, you have no idea. Even though I know you have an idea, you still have no idea how much I enjoy not doing it every week.
It's rundown. It's a pain in the ass.
You know what I realized, though? What I realized is the idea of being this organized and having the notes in a concise document that can be shared with the entire team, which is the two of us. That was your idea.
Absolutely.
My organizational system was much more freeform and non-existent. And I think we functioned at a very high level without any...
Time out. How could it be freeform and non-existent?
Yes.
It's just non-existent.
Yeah.
No, the problem is, for all of you out here listening, it's ridiculous to go into a show not knowing what you're going to talk about. It just doesn't make any sense. And for like the first 5 episodes, we had one topic in an hour. Like, nah. It's an absolute ridiculous.
5 episodes in, Trek said, you know what? The people deserve more.
Yes. And at that point, I decided that I was going to fail at reading for you guys for 100 plus episodes since last week. I had my contacts in, so reading was a lot better. Without they're not in there, so expect some.
Oh, I didn't even know you have contacts. Wow.
I do, and I only wear them when I lose my glasses, which have been lost since my dad's birthday party. I have no idea where they are.
Well, things got a little crazy,
party,
huh?
I guess. yeah, it's crazy.
It's just Rick and Morty all night long.
Right? It's crazy. I lost my glasses. That is retirement home crazy. All right. Check it out. title of this episode is RSR Goes to Space. Space. All right. Topic number 1 is, they should have named it after a Marvel character, right? I think NASA blew it. I honestly do. I think they should have named this after a Marvel character. So, anyway, NASA crashes spacecraft into asteroid, passing planetary defense test. I don't know if it actually passed yet, by the way. But
I learned nothing reading this article, by the way. I
not
barely knew this happened,
thing.
And I was able to gather no functional understanding of what the hell happened and how things were expected to go based on this article.
All right. So I've been following this a tad bit, so hopefully I can clear some of this up. But the Marvel character part of this is not just a joke because it's a space thing and an asteroid and saving the Earth ideally. The name of the asteroid is where I got the idea that maybe superheroes were involved. Right?
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so sources, the Washington Post. At least the source we drew from. Players involved are Tony Stark and them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, listen, NASA managed today to crash a small spacecraft directly into an asteroid. A 14,000 mile per hour collision designed to test whether a technology could someday be deployed to protect Earth from a potentially catastrophic impact. The violent end of the double asteroid redirect test, DART. See, it's whack. Whack. They should have named it something better. Spacecraft. The joint was called DART. Trash.
Yeah, it should have been the foreign asteroid redirection test.
Fart.
Just spitballing here.
Well, I mean, once we get to topic 3, you'll actually be kind of on point. So, what
are the odds?
Spacecraft thrilled scientists and engineers at the Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Laboratory in Laurel, Maryland, which operated the mission under a NASA contract. So the asteroid's name is Dimorphos. Okay, now tell me that does not sound like an enemy in like a Marvel's movie, like Dimorphos is coming, right?
Yeah. You should have called it Big
Dimorphos. Big Nap.
Yeah.
The asteroid Dimorphos is the size of a stadium or the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Mm-hmm.
As one scientist put it on Monday, and is about 7 million miles from Earth at the moment.
Okay.
It orbits a larger asteroid called Didymos. That asteroid can't stop and won't quit. What?
Oh, no.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
You know who will quit? Me.
Asteroid can't stop, won't stop. Didymos.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my goodness. I think we're going to have to hit pause just to give me a couple minutes to recover.
This is the wackest thing I've ever done. Oh, that's the wackest joke I've ever told. All right. It neither poses a threat to our planet now or any time in the foreseeable future. This was just a test, right? It's NASA's first demonstration of a potential planetary defense technique called a kinetic impactor. The idea is to give a hypothetically dangerous asteroid just enough of a blow to alter its orbital trajectory. So yeah, I mean, that's basically it, right? The thing is not meant to survive the impact. It's meant to just hit it and change the direction ever so slightly to where it misses Earth. I'm not going to read too much more other than to say they hit an asteroid that's orbiting a larger asteroid. Like, I'm just saying. I don't know,
this
man.
is my question. If you,
Okay,
since you're not going to explain or read anymore, if you can explain this to me, because what I found myself getting pulled in by the terrible explanation and then left hanging, because what I'm wondering is, are they saying that what one would probably assume, just based on our deep understanding of Bruce Willis movies, that you fly a spaceship into the asteroid that is actually heading toward Earth. That's the asteroid that you hit? Or was it that the thought was that if you hit, the one that it hit was they called a moonlet or something like that. Like the asteroid that the spaceship hit was orbiting the bigger asteroid.
Right.
So was the idea that hitting that would then alter its orbit?
No.
And then change the path of the bigger asteroid, which was the actual danger. Oh.
I think the test was on the smaller asteroid to see if it changed the course in any way.
Okay. Well, the thing I don't understand then is that the implication was that if we are actually going to use this technology effectively, then the only way it can be used effectively and with precision is if the asteroid that is potentially going to hit us is orbiting a larger asteroid. Which seems like something that may be not the best way to think through. I don't know. Kind of a lot of factors to have to just sort of line up effectively.
I like the fact that
it's kind of like trying to ask out one girl because you really want to, because your goal is really to end up with her friend. Yeah. That never works. Well, NASA should know this. If anyone should know it, NASA should know that doesn't work. They're smart.
It depends on who you are. If you're a Boston Celtics basketball coach. Jeff, what up, bro? I haven't said what's up to Jeff in a minute, man. What's going on, Jeff? How you doing, man? You good? Good. Yeah, all is well, bro. All is well. That's my guy, man. Nice guy. I like that the main asteroid was large enough to name after one of the most egotistical.
Perhaps
like they were like, what should we name the larger one? Yeah. And it was like, well, obviously Diddy. He believes that the world revolves around. He believes that things revolve around him, right? So they named it Diddy. Doing the most.
I'm not going to enable you, nor encourage you. I'm your sponsor right now. You need. We need to find something to distract you from this line of humor.
Hey, Diddy that's a funny thing to name an asteroid. I can think of a few not as financially successful rappers to name that asteroid after that I know personally. Like, you know what?
Yeah, what would you name the big asteroid?
Oh man,
if you say Biggie, I will quit.
Oh god, no, I wouldn't. That's too weak. We're talking egotistical people that I know. Like it would be called like the spontaneous. Maybe.
Oh. Okay, if it was you and me, who would be the moonlet, the small orbiting asteroid, and who?
Oh, me. I am the orbiting. I am. Listen, everyone who listens to this show knows that the greater intelligence and greater charisma is coming from Kev's Coda. I am simply the moonlet.
Well, as long as we have that straight.
Yeah, that's fine by me. I'm perfectly fine by that.
Oh god, I need a tissue.
I was just trying to get away from naming the asteroid the Odyssey Kev Brown. Like I'm just trying. What I'm trying in this show to not do is burn any bridges. No, that's a joke. They're not that bad. They're not that bad. Some would name it the Quelly. I don't know if that's true.
Wow.
But some would name the asteroid the Quelly. That might be true.
I don't know. Wait till
I wouldn't know if that's true.
wait till he finds out that there are women working at NASA. Oh boy! Oh, that'll be a tough day. That'll be a tough day to be on Twitter.
Don't make Quelly like that, man. That's cold-blooded. Oh man. So Kev, I mean, Dimorphos. I'm thinking Marvel got to jump on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that was an excellent name.
Either that or Bad Boy.
Wow. They tried to name it like it was from the hood. I know that much. They was halfway there, like Demore. If they would have been like Rius, it would be like, dang, the homie Demorius is on it. You know what I'm saying?
They could have named the spacecraft Revolt. It would have been a whole thing.
I just think they should have named him after Marvel. Like Richard Reed would have been a good name for the actual spacecraft they flew into it, or the Tony Stark or something like that. Come on, be creative, NASA. Let's have fun with it. Right? I'm just saying. Don't be so boring. Be better.
Okay. All right there, Elon.
You want kids to get into science and not gangs? Like this is how you do it. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying.
Oh,
this is how you do it.
You're right.
You're just dooming children to join gangs because of because you named this thing the Dart.
You are speaking nonstop truths right now.
Yeah, I'm out here, you know what I'm saying, for the youth. Topic number 2, man. Rap 6 Radio goes to space. Let's cause some controversy, Kev. You want to cause some controversy real quick, man?
Not this kind. Nope. The Diddy stuff is bad enough. I'm tapped.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Because before we get on to the next topic, I don't know anything about what academics said. So I heard that academics said something about old heads.
Yeah, I just saw the quote. Taken.
Which was what?
If I remember, I just remember that I believe the word ashy was used or dusty.
Okay,
something to that effect.
Dusty. I saw Dusty.
Said that I think he said something to the effect of, you could probably find it easily, but he said something like the pioneers are. He was disrespecting the pioneers of hip hop, saying that they are ashy or dusty and broke or something like that.
Yeah.
It was but I don't know what. Not that there's a context that would have made it okay, but I also don't know why he would. As with most things, the guy says, I don't know why he says the things that end up getting him in trouble, other than for the purpose of getting him in trouble and keeping that attention.
Yeah, this seems like an attention thing. He's meeting with LL Cool J and all.
Or he just really likes the taste of Freddie Gibbs' fist.
Well, there's that too.
He's just really looking for that, I guess.
I guess so. Okay. So I was wrong for feeling like, because I haven't really been on social media. When I popped in, I saw the guy who said that the Gravediggers record was perfect, and he was upset with academics. And I'm going, okay, so academics was right, because I saw who reacted to it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize that it kind of covered was a really broad straw. I thought it was like talking about the people I saw angry at it. I was like, but you are Dusty.
It was that he also equated relevance to the culture with wealth, essentially, or sort of staying current and staying popular or whatever. I think, but most of all, it was about the money. Which is stupid. Yeah, it's like saying, right. It's like saying it's like saying that, someone who died 200 years ago is not relevant anymore because they're not breathing. It's like, well, okay, if that's the opinion you want to have, but you sound like a jackass.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, so he's an idiot. But some of y'all are Dusty, though. And I think that for some of you, he's absolutely correct. I wouldn't say for all. I wouldn't even say for most. But for a lot of hip hop heads, especially the old school ones, y'all are pretty dusty.
And he was specifically, I think, taking aim at your the pioneers, the names you think of when you think of, when you think of Kool Herc and
Like
Grandmaster
Rakim.
Flash. And
Yeah,
I feel like he was going back to, Cold Crush and, Grand Wizard Theodore, Jazzy J, all those,
See,
that first generation of Park Jams and all that.
This
Like,
is the problem.
It's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. But see, this is part of the problem, though, because the people that were upset were, and talking to people that I saw upset. I don't know everyone who was upset, obviously, but the people that I saw upset represented a subset of people who also would diss the originators as well, right? And be like, the 90s was dope and everything before it was whack. So as much as they may dislike academics' point of view, they're pretty much the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I also heard that he took a shot at Rosenberg.
It's one thing if he said
well.
the music was, like, I don't like the music. I like today's music more. Well, you're 12 years old and you act like you're 7 years old, so of course you do. Who cares? But that's not what he was talking about. He was talking about something that doesn't really have any. I mean, as much as we can't say that money has nothing to do with the culture, because the culture, part of the idea of rap was, having an opportunity to brag about achievements that you made, whether they be financial or, in other realms that and also to lie. And you know what I'm saying? Like, use your skills to make yourself, sound bigger than maybe you are or whatever. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. But he didn't break it down in that kind of way, I don't think. And like what LL said to him, I thought was perfectly, perfect. Like, he's saying, you don't know what you're talking about. And he defined the difference between the financial benefits that hip hop has bestowed upon people like him and probably, and a lot of other people since then. Mm-hmm. And the idea of being at the forefront and being a pioneer of the culture, which is a value, can be valued in a way that's not financial, that goes beyond financial rewards or anything like that. So hopefully there's some sort of productive conversation, but also I was just like, I mean, whatever. I know who's going to feel like what. It's like, I don't need to get in a conversation about it.
Well, I was the same way. That's why I was asking you more than I would have a conversation in detail. But I will say this, and this is something I feel about everything. Like, I joke a lot about fans of things because I think most fans of things, you're a fan of how things affect you, not a fan of the thing. Does that make sense? So if you tell me you're a music fan, but then you tell me, go ahead, sweetheart, you gotta move quickly. Thank you. If you give me just a moment, guys. Okay.
You have a squirrel? You have a squirrel in your house?
Well. I might as well. No. If someone tells me they're a fan of music, right? Usually they're a fan of the music of their time. They're not a fan of music in general, right? Where they would find the quality and goodness. You don't have to like everything, but you would find what's good, something good about music that you don't even listen to, right? Most of the time you're a fan of the music of your era, right? It's the same thing with hip hop. Like, most people who say they're hip hop fans are pretty much just either regional or within a particular time frame, only like 90s hip hop. And I think that's okay. That's perfectly fine. I'm not dissing anybody for that. I just don't respect your opinion and won't listen to you about the music. And that doesn't mean that I'm saying that. I'm not saying that with malice. I'm saying if you can't understand the effect of a pioneer on the culture, then you're not a person to be taken seriously, right? Like, there's just, you're entitled to your opinion. You're in, like you said, he's basically a child, and this is his era. Much respect to him, man. Like, I listen to music of my era, initially, and then grew into understanding and learning about music prior to me, and et cetera. So I can listen to just about any music and find something quality in it. And I think that that's one of the beauties of hip hop and sampling and break beats and you know what I'm saying, and DJing and just right, the vastness of hip hop. If you don't understand that, you know what I mean? You're basically Charlie Brown's teacher to me.
People.
You know?
There's definitely and it's not. There's one side academics, and there's a whole other side that's LL Cool J, and the answer lies somewhere in the middle. It's just when you say simple things, you're going to get treated like a simpleton. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And people do that right in the dead center of those two guys. Every day, all day, I see stupid things being said or simple-minded things being said about music. It's crazy because not too long ago I was listening to some old tracks that I had, like beats. And then every so often I'll hear something new that comes out, and it's like sampling something, a different part of either the same loop that I had flipped years ago or another part of a song that I had taken a loop from another section of the song from, that I was really proud of or whatever. And, there was a period where it's like, if you used any part of the same song someone else did, you were like some kind of biter or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Which I guess I sort of understand, right? Especially if they were in the same circle, in the same, in LA or whatever, But at no point am I like, I might have been. We were doing it so long ago that I might have been one of the first people to flip that thing or whatever. And if there was another person, they were in a bedroom somewhere in another part of the country or the world or whatever, right? That no one else ever heard of, right? There was no who sampled or all that stuff to check and make sure that you're not violating or anything like that, right? But never once did I say, I did that so nobody else can do that. If anything, it would be like, well, I like what I did just as much as I like what they did. Or, hey, you know what? I got you on that one, even though you didn't even know I did it. I like what I did better than what you, whatever. So I can appreciate all that stuff. But you don't own any of this stuff. Didn't Q-Tip say?
No.
You don't own these loops?
No, that was Guru. Rappers in art. You don't know.
Yeah.
You can't own no loops. Yeah.
Yeah. What was their first album name? First Gangster album? What was it called?
That was Step in the Arena. No more Mr. Nice Guy, man.
So there's that. There's that aspect of like, once you and I bring that up just to bring up the fact that there were guys who were legitimately doing these things before anybody else, rubbing a record against the needle to make this sound that nobody had ever heard. That is something that you could never take away from them, and that they will never be financially rewarded for having created. And it's like, and that is a contribution that for you to allow your mouth to form the words that would disrespect that in some kind of way because there was not a financial reward, you're being goofy and ridiculous. And if someone's going to punch you in the mouth for it, a lot of people got punched in the mouth a lot harder for less of a violation than that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. But you know what? That's sort of a thing that I kind of hold dearly to, and that is that a lot of this can't be a generational problem. This has to be a human problem, right? The idea that if that guy didn't do it, it would have existed anyway. You see what I'm saying? And I have sat back and learned to become appreciative of the fact that doesn't have to be true. Matter of fact, it's not always true, right? Somewhere in some other realm or dimension, Cedar and Sedgwick didn't happen. And I think the world is different because of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that it just ends up happening up the street. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know a lot of New Yorkers will argue that it was happening everywhere at the time, but what I'm saying is the importance of that party. It's not as though it would happen again and it would happen the same. Maybe it'd be better. Maybe it would be better. But it wouldn't be what it turned into. You see what I'm saying? And when we look back, and this is a big thing about basketball fans for me, right? What about the competition they played against?
Right.
is a thing you hear in sports. It's like, but listen, they created the concept of boxing out, leading on your opposite leg to shoot a layup, how to shoot free throws. Two-handed pass is the best way to pass the ball. All these things were created before your favorite player touched the court. Your belief is that those things would have been created anyway. And my argument is not to the degree that a Bill Russell or a Wilt Chamberlain or even a George Mikan or Pistol Pete Maravich would had done it. You know what I'm saying? These were masters at a craft that didn't exist yet. And that is the same thing I would say for Grand Wizard Theodore. That's the same thing I'd say for Grandmaster Flash. That is the same thing I'd say for Sugar Hill Gang and everything earlier and around that same time. These were masters at a craft that never existed, that didn't exist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They created something with every step, with every movement forward. They created something out of thin air,
right?
With broken parts. You know what I'm saying?
And for a culture that likes to, we love priding ourselves on keeping it real, but love talking about hypotheticals. Oh boy, do we like talking about hypotheticals as long as the day is, it's like, or longer. I mean, it's like, good Lord, man, just these are the same, and my belief is that when you get too much into that, it's like looking at a dude who can't be happy with the life that he's living because he wishes he had done this or that differently. It's one thing to say, I have a few regrets, and I've learned from them, and this is where I'm at, and all I can do is look to the future, and if I'm going to push this culture forward, then this is how I choose to do it, and maybe I'm going to screw it up again. Who knows? But you can't go back. You can't change anything. Right. I was having a talk, actually. It's funny that you brought that up because I was talking to Mona Lisa a few weeks ago, and she was talking about her record collection as she was growing up and her her elders' influence on music for her and what they played and what they passed on to her and how it, sort of how it affects her sets today, but also just generally our love of hip hop. And, and I shared with her that I had it's probably, a decade or so ago, come to the realization. I lived more of my life before I came to this realization than since I came to the realization that a lot of the stuff I like to sample, and I think it was not just me, it was the sort of time frame of jazz and soul that we like to sample. A lot of it is music that, if you were to go back at the time it was released, especially jazz, the jazz purists, the same guys who won't listen to anything past the 90s in hip hop, their equivalent in jazz, probably hated the things that we sampled for hip hop records, because we were sampling like jazz fusion and that jazz R&B fusion and these sort of new styles of jazz. We touch on a little bit of the bebop and that hard bop stuff and things that maybe those guys would be more into. But by and large, we were sampling everything. And a lot of it was music that when it came out, I bet these guys hated it. And I never really thought about that until I'm sitting there listening to people. It's like, you spend more time listening to each other complain about the music that's out than you do listening to anything. That is your playlist. Your playlist is just grumpy old head energy. And it's just talking. It's like, kind of like listening to this podcast, to be honest.
It is kind of, yeah. I would like to, I don't know, maybe next episode, I mean, we've kind of dead horse it already, but maybe next episode, I kind of want to dig into what he said, if there's anything more that comes from it, because I think it is a good conversation to have, because I feel like this was all going to come to a head at some point, or it continues to, right? The old, it doesn't though, because doesn't in every other genre, because James Brown brought Michael Jackson and Prince onto stage and was like, yo, this is the next generation, right? I know people may hate her, but Prince backed Beyonce, right? Like, yo, this is the next generation, right? There have been little tiffs in between, but hip hop does not want to pass the torch. It just doesn't.
Well, I don't know, and also I don't know this kid. Like I think his name is DJ Academics, but I don't even know if he's a DJ. And that's me.
Well,
that's
there's
ignorance
that too.
on my part. So I'm saying that right up front. But I don't know. He's definitely not a rapper. If he is,
No.
And that's the thing. It's like
Well,
you're just a talker.
Yeah.
So if you're not coming with some skill as well, other than making people angry, like he should be talking about Don Rickles or somebody. Then, if he just wants to go on a mic and make people angry, it's like, geez, and you ain't gonna, you can't hang with Don Rickles either. So shut up.
There's that. All right, let's start. So that was enough controversy on one end, but come on, Kev, are you ready to start this controversy?
This broke my heart as a voice actor.
I know, right?
This one really hit home.
Oh man. My topic title, Kev. James Earl Jones greater than Morgan Freeman.
In a world.
Listen, man, the reason for all of this is James Earl Jones is hanging up his cape as Darth Vader. The source for this is CNN, but there are a couple articles out there about it. A lot of tears, actually. James Earl Jones, who for decades has provided Darth Vader's iconic, menacing voice, will not record new lines for new Star Wars projects. Instead, Jones' voice will live on artificially through an AI program that can recreate his voice, so Vader can deliver new lines of dialogue and maintain the commanding bass sound that made him a widely feared villain. The thing, this was partially used in Obi-Wan, the Obi-Wan show, to my understanding. That wasn't James Earl Jones, but the AI version. Okay.
You couldn't tell when it sounded like, Luke,
Yeah,
I am your father.
Ukraine startup.
The force
Respeecher.
is strong.
Bring was that Ariel? The force is strong with you. Yo, I've been doing that all week. Like I've been like looking in the mirror and just been like Ariel. All my Caribbeans, my Jamaicans, my Trinis, whatever. Yo, I apologize for every time I mimicked an accent on a record. Like I just want to formally apologize for every time I did it. I promise. Trick life near the beach now. Yeah. Like it's so bad, yo. It's so whack. And I want to formally apologize to each and every one of y'all because y'all didn't deserve that. However, it was never as bad as a big-lipped crab doing it, though. Ever. It'll never be as bad as a crab with oversized lips. Yeah, that's unacceptable. All right. Anyway, Ukrainian startup Respeecher, they've used Respeecher on Star Wars quite a bit, was tasked with creating a version of Jones' voice as it sounded in the original trilogy for the recent Disney Plus miniseries Obi-Wan Kenobi, which takes place several years after Anakin Skywalker becomes a Sith Lord. James Earl Jones is 91, Kev.
In this picture, he looks fantastic.
Man, right? Come on.
He looks like
James.
he's not big. He's not big James Earl anymore. He looks like his voice can't even get that low anymore. You ever thought about that?
I'm saying maybe not. Maybe James Earl Jones ain't been eating no barbecue to get that low, man. That was the ham hock and chitlins level voice. Right now,
all I know is if we are spending billions of dollars to make sure that Ukraine holds its own in this special conflict or whatever Putin's calling it, it's worth every penny just to make sure that this technology survives. Forget about the nuclear plants, whatever, nuclear power,
real,
whatever.
Yeah. No, keep Respeecher alive.
Yeah.
So he's 91. He said he's looking into winding down this particular character. So anyhow, I don't want to go too far into it. They did. Jones was involved throughout the process of perfecting Vader's voice for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and he helped guide the teams involved with recreating his sound and staying updated on Lucasfilm's plans for Vader in the future. first of all, man, I joke about James Earl Jones being greater than Morgan Freeman. These are two equally great, right? One of the like Morgan Freeman.
Well, one of them's the pioneer though. Trek. One of them's the pioneer.
That's true. One of them is Dusty.
That new school Freeman. Mumble Freeman.
It's mumble. No, Morgan Freeman is generally the voice of God. I mean, how do you become so great that when they need someone to play God, like we need a voiceover for God, is Morgan Freeman available? It's like, good grief. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
How do we get to the point where Morgan Freeman,
Let me tell
in
you
like
something.
every movie, is
I
God?
can't tell you how many times I get these like casting things, right? For voiceover work, right? At the let's say that James Earl Jones and Morgan Freeman are at the LL Cool J side of the spectrum, end of the spectrum I was talking to for voice acting. I am at the DJ academic side of that spectrum, right? But so you get these casting calls for voiceover auditions, and you say, you know, we have a budget of $3 and we're looking for someone who sort of has a James Earl Jones or Morgan Freeman type of vibe, if you know what we mean. It's like, you have a DJ Academics budget. You want a James Earl Jones performance.
It's not happening. You're gonna have to step your game up. Y'all gonna step your bread up for my man Kev. By the way, don't be here. Don't. Yeah, Ariel. If y'all need me, I'm right here. I got y'all. Sorry, Omega. You know what I'm saying? I apologize, my brother, but if Disney calls me and they need the oversized lip crab version, I got them.
Oh, dude.
And you have to do like something that isn't necessarily right. Like instead of saying father, you say like father. Like your father wants you, but that's not how they would talk. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're just
like,
making
that's
it up.
not. Yeah, you just got to make it up because you don't know what you're talking about. Ariel, your father wants you under the sea. I'm gonna do this every episode until I'm tired of it. By the way,
How many times do you think? Maybe for the last like 15, 20 years though, like maybe he just got tired of it. Every time James Earl Jones' phone rang, he picked it up excitedly for the last like 20 years, and he said, "Did it finally happen? Do they want me for Bob's Burgers?" And his agent's like, "Nah, it's another Star Wars thing." Fuck.
Yo, it has to be, by the way, because Star Wars is, believe it or not, if you are a current Star Wars fan or a young person, believe it or not, man, Star Wars wasn't always this big, like to where there was all of this information and this backstory. No, man, we had 3 movies and that was it. And then there was, book here, books and comic books everywhere, really. And if you wanted to sort of some of it countered each other, right? Like a character would be dead in this book, but alive in this book and whatever. And now the excitement that's around Star Wars, because I know a lot of people don't like the idea of canon storytelling, right? I love it. Because I think it brings some excitement because it gets you into the character because there's a start and there's a path, right? Like if I'm reading a book and said character is now alive again, it's like, okay, well, I'm not as interested as if there's some stakes here, right? The person can't come back if they die, right? So for James Earl Jones, the last maybe, I don't know what, 8 to 10 years has been like, what? We doing that again? Like, you know what I mean? And they're like, nah, man, we doing it. For who? We doing it for Disney. Oh, for Disney? Yeah. And they're like, yeah, we got that Ariel bread. It's like, all right.
For this check.
You know what I mean?
That's what we're doing it for.
Yeah, exactly. So he's like, he's at home breathing practice. Yo, what you doing, man? Hey, I'm about to get this bread. You know what I'm saying?
This story just came out today, right? Or was it
Yeah.
yesterday?
Well,
Dude.
as recently as today or this weekend, yeah.
I bet that 4chan and the 8chan is lighting up.
Hey.
They're making Darth Vader black now. Oh, they're not gonna like that.
Oh, they're a lot, right? Darth Vader being black. and for that, and to that note, by the way, Darth Vader been black the whole time for these racist Star Wars. Like these Star Wars fans is livid, but Darth Vader's voice was black, right? The whole concept of Jedi and it's completely taken from Asian culture. Like literally everything you've been mad at the last 10 years and 20 years about Star Wars is totally literally putting the actors in the place of not that, every black person is going to turn into a machine-sized monster that will destroy planets if need be. But as far as all the things that you guys are bothered by, I don't know. And dragons are still black. Yes, one episode later, all dragons are black and their name Otis. All right, topic number 3, and then we're going to bounce up out of here. Let me see, man. Let me check the time real quick. All right. I'm only going to topic number 3 really quickly because it ties into Kev's joke about renaming the asteroid altering spacecraft DART into fart. I don't know how to rhyme this. I forgot. But go ahead, Kev. Can you rhyme this part for me?
3-point drop, turn, stop, and freeze. Spin 360 degrees for blue cheese.
Thank you. I forgot the cadence of that rhyme.
Apologies to Cool Kim and this is terrible.
You can also apologize for just forgetting his name, by the way.
The other UMC. 2MC.
The reason for this is woman explains why she farts in the cheese aisle of posh supermarkets. This is LAD Bible. The player involved is Amy Scott, aka Plastic Amy. A woman who likes to fart in the cheese aisles of posh supermarkets has explained the reason for her unusual hobby, giving a whole new meaning to the term "cut the cheese." All right. TikToker Amy Scott, aka Plastic Amy, shared a short but insightful clip on her 361,000 followers, in which she makes the eyebrow-raising admission, which is odd because if you see her face, I don't know if her eyebrows raise, in the post, which has been viewed more than 1.7 million times. This is what she writes. She says, "I like farting in the cheese section of posh supermarkets." That's what she said. She's now become known for her comedic skills, which she films using the plastic surgery filter. Okay, that's why it's a filter.
Yeah, we're learning stuff. I learned that today too. That's a
yeah.
thing.
Okay. I was totally about to talk trash because I was like, "Whoa, that surgery gone bad," but it's a filter. All right, there you go. As such, she may very well have just been joking around, but either way, it's left her fans in stitches. It's not really that funny. So, long story short, wow. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the money here, but I'm not gonna convert this from pounds and euros into US dollars. But yeah, Kev. Long story short, she likes to fart in cheese aisles. Her explanation, I guess, was that she likes to see how people respond, how rich people respond to it. And there was also a man who was arrested for 34 months for farting in a police officer's face. By the way, what that has to do with the story, I don't know, but I don't want to read any more about it.
Props to Kilo G, by the way. The homie Kilo
Oh,
G.
you had to look.
Huh?
Did you look that up?
No. It's the first
So
thing I thought of.
That typing that we heard in the background.
Oh, that was for something else.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Kilo G on trial, cold cut a fart.
That was true. But that's LA fart, so it was fort.
Fort.
We don't say fart, we say fort. You forted.
Oh man, remember how earlier I said that just because I feel like I might have been the first person to do something, it doesn't mean that no one else ever did it. This I know I did first. Because if you're in the supermarket and you need to find a place to disguise,
To fort.
yeah,
Okay.
go to the cheese section.
The cheese
Let that
section
go.
is-
Keep it moving. You don't have to make a big show of it. But clearly, she's I am a pioneer in this field. She's clearly just clout chasing. She's not she's not one of the
That's
originals.
Jamie. It's biting style biting. All right, man. We're overtime, man. So I'm gonna go on and let us roll out of here because there's really no need to talk about this subject anymore than we already did. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. This has been Rap Sucks Radio. I am your homeboy Trek Life. That over there, that's your fam, Kev Sakota.
Respect to the god Hash G.
There you go.
There
Good job,
it is.
Kev.
Yeah. Thumbs is muscular.
That's
I
all
felt
you
bad.
Yo, man. Tune in next week. Catch us on Instagram at Rap Sucks Radio, and also catch us on Facebook, facebook.com/RSR podcast. We'll catch y'all next time, and on the count of three, we say peace. 1, 2, 3. Peace.
Peace.
We out, y'all.